Here we go, another Studio Takes.
Welcome aboard.
I'm Dane Scott, and this is going to be a quickie today, but I think it could be a very helpful one. It could actually be one of those turnaround moments for you in your work on Fiverr. So stick with me for this one. I actually have a Gig Doctor session coming up here in just a few minutes, so I'm doing this one rather quickly this morning before the day really starts to kick in. Today we have a big gale blowing out here, so it should be very interesting trying to do voiceovers today. Not so bad when we're doing the Skype sessions, the Gig Doctor sessions, but we do have one of those coming up. At any rate, I just want to mention very quickly that if you are not doing that great with your Fiverr gig right now, I would encourage you to contact me about it, and we can get together for a Gig Doctor session. A lot of the people that I've worked with have really come a long way in a short time after making changes to their gigs based on what we discussed in a Gig Doctor get-together. And so if you'd like more information about that, it's a Skype session. It lasts an hour, and we go through a lot of material and all customized to your particular offerings. So if you'd like more information about that, go to thegigdoctor.com, and hopefully I can help you out with that. All right, so then the whole idea here is there are certain things that we could be doing on Fiverr. Is my collar up? Let me fix my collar there. That's better. There are certain things we could be doing on in our gigs on Fiverr that could make a remarkable difference in our day-to-day performance as sellers, especially if we're already working with some clients. And this is one of those. You know, our first contact with new potential buyers is a very important thing. They have discovered you. They have clicked on you. They have then inquired of you. So at that point, you know, you see something in your inbox, that's kind of big. It's kind of huge because it means several things have happened. Number one, your gig has been found. Number two, your gig has grabbed the attention of someone. Number three, they've taken enough interest in you to actually contact you and to say, hey, how much would you charge me for this? This is what I'm doing, and so forth. Hopefully, they start out by saying, this is what I'm doing, and not, number one, how much will you charge me for this? Because usually that's not a good sign. But let's say that they actually are approaching you, and you've got an inbox message from someone that says, that they'd like to know about, your services and what the rate would be for it. And so you very happily respond, and you give them a cordial answer and something more than just hopefully you've engaged with them a little bit, are friendly, and make it a nice initial interchange. And maybe you send them a quote. It's a good idea to get that quote sent out as early in the process as possible. Let's say that you have done that, and you're a busy person. You've got other things going on. And maybe you kind of forget about the fact that you sent them a quote. And maybe they've kind of forgotten that you sent them a quote too. Maybe they contacted several people, and maybe they haven't made their mind up yet. Well, it makes an awful lot of sense to knock on their door, say a day later and say, how are things going? Did you receive my quote? Do you have any questions? And it's remarkable how often they will respond either by saying, yeah, we're all set on this one. I chose a different person for it. Or, yeah, I'm still making my decision, or I'm still waiting for the final copy, the final script, the final, raw data that we would need to provide to you to do the order. And so therefore there isn't any change yet. But then sometimes they answer back and they say, boy, yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's get going on this, actually, and maybe have a couple of other questions, and then they go ahead and they place the order. It's especially that last thing that we're shooting for here. So if we don't follow up, sometimes we miss opportunities with buyers, but it is so easy, especially if you've got a lot of things going on in your life, and maybe a lot of things going on Fiverr, not to do those follow-ups. So here's a little technique that can make it quick and easy for you to do that. So just looking at my screen here, I'm just going to pick any message. Now this one already I have tagged, but let's just go down. I'm just going to find a message just at random here. And I don't know that I have tagged this one, so let me do it now. So let's say that this was an inquiry from someone right here. from somebody that was asking me for a quote. And I sent them a quote. Before I even leave the page, you click the three dots in the corner here, and there's a little tag. You see that label thing? We'll click on that, and I've added a tag. You can add a label. You click on that, and then you type in the label name. It's as simple as that. And from then on, that label's available along with the other ones. I created one called Quote Follow-Up. And so what I can do now is to just click just a check in that box, and that's been applied. Now, on a daily basis, and this is really the trick, it has to be routine or it all falls apart. So try to, on a daily basis, pick a time of day. Say, okay, time to check on my quotes that I've sent out. So I'm going to do that at 7 in the morning or whenever it is. And then what you do in order to find all of the ones that you've quoted is you click on All Conversations in the upper left here. And then you would go down, and sure enough, there is your tag down there. Okay, there's the tag. That's the one that you created, which is called Quote Follow-Up or whatever you want to call it. And so when I click on Quote Follow-Up, what I see now is a list of all of the people who I've sent quotes to recently. And also, like when I click on them, I get the current status of what each one was, and I can just click on it, review. Okay, did I send them a follow-up already? I already did. Maybe I won't bother them again right now. Or if maybe it was a quote that I just sent yesterday and I haven't followed up, then I'll just send them a quick message. I've actually got a little message here that I've set up in my quick responses that I'll show you. It's right down near the bottom here. It says Quote Follow-Up. You see that? And that's just a very simple thing. It says, hi, username, whoever it is, just a quick follow-up to make sure you received my quote and to see if you had any questions. And then you sign it and just hit send. Keep it all simple for yourself so you're more tempted to do it. If you make it all too complicated or you try to type too much of it custom every time, you'll quickly get tired of doing the quote follow-ups. But when it's something as simple as just going selecting quote follow-up and then clicking on each one and just sending a message if you need to, and having in a lot of cases, just a simple automatic response thing that you can send. Boom, 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 you send them out. And, there are also going to be times where your quote follow-up needs to be more personal too. Maybe you've been discussing something very specific with them, and so you want to carry on that conversation in some way. But regardless of that, just make sure that you do the follow-ups because they're pretty important. How much work, this is the thing I think about. How much work have I missed over the years on Fiverr by not following up on quotes? I don't even like to think about it. So take the time to follow up on quotes. Just use that simple little label tag there to mark quotes. And then on a daily basis, do a search for all of your quotes and follow up on the most recent ones, within the last few days. And just see if they have any questions or, where things are at. Keep on top of it, and you might be surprised how often that bears fruit for you. Be sure to subscribe for additional opportunities here for us to get together and some new things to learn. And I'm always learning too, so I try to pass stuff along as I figure it out myself. And I'll look forward to the next time we can get together for another studio take. Thank you. I'm Dane Scott.
You give me a call.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, I think.
Hello, cutie pie.
Until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Goodbye.